Imagine a world falling apart, kingdoms at war, rulers fighting for power, families breaking down, and ordinary people caught in chaos. This was China 2,500 years ago. And in the middle of this storm, a single man rose with a simple but powerful idea. What if the key to peace was not power, but virtue? That man was Confucius. Born in 551 BCE in the small state of Lu, Confucius did not come from wealth or nobility. His father died when he was young, leaving his family poor, yet even as a boy he was drawn to learning. He studied history, music, rituals, and the wisdom of earlier times. People said he carried himself with dignity even as a child. As he grew older, Confucius saw the world crumbling around him. Rulers were corrupt, wars were constant, and people had lost respect for tradition. To him, this was not just politics, it was a breakdown of humanity. So he devoted his life to one mission: to restore harmony. Confucius believed that true order begins not with armies or laws, but with people themselves. If fathers acted with kindness, sons with respect, rulers with virtue, and citizens with honesty, then society would naturally fall into harmony. In his words, to put the world in order, we must first put the nation in order. To put the nation in order, we must first put the family in order. To put the family in order, we must first cultivate our personal life. At first, he worked as a teacher. Here's what made him unique. Unlike the old traditions, he taught anyone willing to learn. Not just nobles, but farmers, merchants, and commoners. His students followed him not because of wealth or power, but because his words touched their lives. But Confucius wanted to do more than teach. He wanted to reform governments. He dreamed of rulers who led by virtue, who acted as moral examples, so their people would follow not out of fear, but out of respect. The virtue of a leader, he said, is like the wind. The virtue of the people is like the grass. When the wind blows, the grass bends. For years he traveled from state to state, offering his wisdom to kings and ministers. Some welcomed him, many ignored him, and a few even mocked him. He never gained lasting political power, but his ideas grew stronger with time. Confucius taught about Ren, humaneness, compassion, the core of being truly human. He spoke of Lai, proper conduct, respect, and rituals that bring order to life. He believed learning was not about passing exams, but about becoming a better person. And he always returned to the same message. Harmony in society begins with self-cultivation. He was not a prophet claiming divine visions. He was not a warrior forcing change by sword. He was a teacher, showing that wisdom and morality could transform a nation. Confucius died in 479 BCE, feeling his mission was incomplete. But his students preserved his words in a book called the Analects, and over centuries those teachings shaped China, Korea, Japan, Vietnam, and beyond. For over 2,000 years, Confucianism guided emperors, scholars, and families. Even today, phrases like "respect your parents" or "education is the path to virtue" echo his vision. So why does Confucius matter now? Because his world was not so different from ours. Corruption, division, loss of trust. These are not ancient problems. His solution, building peace through virtue, family, and respect, still speaks today. Maybe that's why he's remembered not just as a thinker, but as a teacher of harmony and order.